Have for the zucchini dish is a really great summertime thing. I got two different types of zucchini. Look at the round ones, and I got the regular ones. Okay, two different types of zucchini. You can also use summer squash for this. I got some fresh thyme, okay, and also some garlic. I already peeled the garlic. Lemon for some acid. You could use vinegar, and then of course some great fresh scallions as well. These are from the farmer's market, of course. Nice long fresh scallions. We're going to have some oil in here too as well. You can olive oil or grapeseed oil or something like that. So we're going to get all this washed off and we're going to prep it. First we're going to cut our scallions. We're going to take the end off of the stems and we're going to slice them nice and thin. Or even you can go, let's do this. You can go at an angle. It's going to be nicer. We're going to go on a bias cut on our scallions, nice and long. We have our oven preheated to 375. You can go as high as 400. You can even do this in an air fryer, this dish, but we're going to do it in a convection oven, but you can do it in an air fryer as well if you have a tray that's going to be for spreading out when we roast this. So we're basically going to bake this or roast it. Baking and roasting, of course, the same thing. There's our scallions all sliced up. We have kind of the hard part is our thyme. Everybody asks me about how do you get the leaves off the thyme? Well, hopefully it's pretty straight and not curly. You can pull one way and get your leaves off that way, or you can pull backwards, and we pull backwards to get our leaves off. One way or the other, you're gonna get those leaves off. Instead of, if things are really bad, you have to like pick them off individually, but you want to get most of your leaves and not the stem. So most of the leaves, this is about 4 sprigs of thyme is gonna be great, but you really need the nice leaves and not a lot of stems. If you find that you got a little too much stem, you can do a rough chop of it, but you don't want to have too much, you don't have to chop it too fine. But you really want to break up so you're not going to have the stems on there. And just look through it again, double check and see how you are. You're going to be fine. We're going to thin slice our garlic cloves. Obviously you have to peel them, you want to leave them whole, and you want to slice your garlic cloves as thin as you can. Keep your fingers curled just like that. And you're going to go all the way through to get nice thin slices on your garlic, because these are going to roast with the zucchini and everything else. But it's got to be nice and thin, otherwise it's going to be too chunky. Nice thin slices, like a 1/16 of an inch, okay, on your garlic. Zucchini, you're going to take your ends off. There we go. And we're going to do the old half moon. So we cut down firm all the way through, right? And then we're going to try to slice this really thin. We're talking about 1/8 of an inch, nice and thin. That's going to work out for this dish. We're going nice and thin. That way it won't take long for it to bake or roast. There we go, just like that. Slice it nice and thin, just like that. You can do a rocking motion too to get it. There you go. We have a round zucchini. You don't always see these. This is great getting them from the market, from the farmer's market. This one's basically just a different shape, cut down. And you're going to cut down there, go in quarters. Once we go in quarters, right, then what you can do is do slices. Nice and thin, just like that. As thin as you did the other ones if you have regular zucchini. You don't have to have these round zucchinis for this recipe. You need some kind of zucchini, that's for sure. We can slice that like that. Oh, you're going to cut your lemon in half for juicing. If your lemons are a little bit dry, you can get 2 lemons for this, all right? Depends on the season. We're going to have the lemon, so that's going to be, these are pretty juicy, so I'm going to have one of them cut in half for juicing. All right, we're going to put everything in a big bowl. By the way, I made a mistake. So our oven preheat temperature is 400. Nice and hot, 400 degrees preheat temperature. You're going to put in all your zucchini, you're going to put your scallions in, you're going to put in your garlic in here. All of that goes in. You're going to put your thyme in there as well, all that together. All right, we're going to season with a couple generous pinches of salt. I like to use kosher salt or sea salt, and pepper. Nice generous pinches of salt and pepper before we're going to mix this around. We're going to take a half a cup of grapeseed or olive oil, right? Put that in there, and we're going to mix this really well. Really simple. Just mix it all around, get it really well mixed up, okay? We got to get the zucchini really coated nicely with the oil. That's why there's like a half a cup to this. because that way we're going to just put it on the sheet tray. We don't have to oil the sheet tray. The oil's already on the vegetables and ready to go. Next, you're going to take your lovely zucchini and spread it out on 2 sheet trays, or 1, with parchment paper. You can use foil if you don't have any parchment paper. You can also use a sill pad as well. It's non-stick. You want to lay these really flat. You don't want to stack them up. Okay, we're trying to get the nice hot air temperature to do like a convection heat cooking. Like I said, you can also going to do this in an air fryer if you want, but it's got to be spread out nice and thin. Do not overstack it. You're better off using two trays if you have to versus piling it up. Piling up is going to make it steam. We don't want steam, we want roasting. We want to put a little color on there. We want to dry them out a bit, get them nice and soft. That's what our goal is here, okay? So it's got to be on parchment or some foil before you put it in the oven. Okay, our oven is 400, nice and hot. We're going to put our sheet trays in. Like I said, you can do an air fryer too as well, but this is convection. If you have convection, even better, or air fry, at least 400. We're going to check it in 20 minutes. We're going to check it after 20 minutes. You can see how it's nice and soft. You're going to get a little color on it, but you let that cool down. You don't want to move it right away because it's going to be really soft, so you want it to cool down. And you can see that your garlic's getting a nice light brown color. That's what you want. And we're just going to let that cool down and turn off the oven. It's starting to cool down. You see the garlic is nice and golden brown. It's really soft, so you can lay that into your container you're going to store it in, or you can put this right on the plate. But first we're going to do a little lemon juice on there. It's there on the roasting thing. We're going to squeeze the lemon juice, no seeds, all around. You can add a little bit more pepper on the top, and make sure you right from a height like this so it spreads all around.